But the great thing about this is what I call great carry bar, a great everyday carry, something you can have on you, have in a bag, have on you as a pen just to use, because it writes like a normal pen. How it actually works, if I take the lid off here and show you closely, you do have printed on one side, and these are printed, they won't move. You've got 6 different colors here: blue, green, red, purple, yellow, and black. But on the other side, they're all red. So what's going to happen is a number of things are going to happen. You are going to, first of all, force your audience, your participant, to choose red. And there are a couple of ways to do this, okay? So the way that I used in the performance is to think of a number, small number. I like to use the idea of an invisible dice in their head, and you remind them a dice has 1 to 6 numbers in them. Whatever the dice lands on, that's the number we're going to go with. In the case of the performance, they went with 3. Here, you just literally count 3. 1, 2, 3, and you land on red. Let's start with number 1 to 6 to see how this works. Let's just say someone says, oh, number 1. If it's number 1, you're going to spell the number 1, starting always from the blue. Okay, so that's O-N-E, and you stop on red, just force red. What if they say number 2? Well, number 2, again, we're going to spell the word 2. So it's T-W-O, and you land on 2. If it's 3, like in the performance, you count 1, 2, 3. What happens if it's 4? Well, if it's 4, you can either, from the black end, you are either going to count or spell. So you can go F-O-U-R and land on a red, or just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What if it's number 5? What happens number 5? You spell it from the black again, F-I-V-E, and you land on red again. What if it's number 6? Well, if it's number 6, again, now you're going to start on the blue again. So it's S-I-X, and you have landed on the red. So that's how you force the red color, okay? Very simple, very easy. You just have to practice this so you remember it, so that in performance you're not thinking about how you're going to force this, okay? Once you've practiced and got this down, which is a very simple thing, you're good to go. The next part is learning how to make this thing look like it's either the same on both sides or either just red on both sides. And this incorporates what we call the paddle move, okay? Now the paddle move, there are 2 things happening in the paddle move. The paddle move is done like this: thumb on top, finger underneath. And I think that to learn this, it might be easy if you start with the lid off and using the ballpoint end, okay? So you don't have to hold it at the ballpoint end, but just very close to the tip here will help you immensely. Do this in the mirror to get this down, and you should learn this fairly quickly if you start practicing today. So, 2 things at the same time. Let's break it down into the 2 moves, which in a minute you're going to have to incorporate together. And trust me, they're very simple. It's just putting them together for the first time feels a bit strange, but honestly, you should have this down very soon. So, what's the first thing you got to do? It's going to sound silly, but you're just going to hold the pen like this and do what you would normally do. Lift it from here to here. You're just lifting. Up, down, and then from this position, up here, okay? Like that. This is just literally turning the other side, just showing the other side. You're showing one side and turning it over and showing the other side. But as you're doing this, you're going to do another action. And the other action, separate on its own, is just this. Thumb on finger on thumb on top, finger underneath at the edge there. Okay, I'll get really close to this. You are going to use your thumb now just to roll the pen over. Now, you're not rolling backwards, you're rolling always outwards, okay? So kind of away from you, to the tips of your fingers. Use the thumb to roll it like that. And back again. So get used to this move. This is what I would suggest. Do the 2 moves separately. Obviously, the first one's the easiest one. You're just doing this, okay? Don't try to add the move yet. Just get used to doing that. Do that like 10 times. And then do this 10 times. Just roll once out, once back in. It's only once. You're not doing tons of revolving, not 360 degrees, turning your hand. Just keep it very steady. Roll once out till you see the red. Roll back again. till you see all the different colors. Now try putting those two moves together. So in super slow motion, as you come up like this, you're just going to very casually roll and then stop before you end the movement. So before you get to here, you would have turned it. Okay, so it's now red. I'll start that again. You're here, you revolve. The greatest thing about this trick, it doesn't have to be quick at all. You can do this really quite slowly because it's what we call the bigger action. This is the bigger action, covers the smaller action of this. This is a very small action and it gets completely hidden in this bigger action. So if I put the two things together, you just see that, okay? Looks like the same set of colors on both sides. So there are two ways to change it. I think I'm going to show you what I call the beginner's way to change it. The very simple way is to now place this into your palm of your fingers like this, fingers underneath, grab, turn your hand over and push through. And you just turned it over. All you're doing literally is doing that, but it's maybe a more magical way. You grab and turn and do this. And now show them the fact that it's all turned red. Now you do your paddle move to show that they're all red. Okay, do that roll. Now I'm going to give you the advanced way. If you want to do the advanced way, you don't need any cover. Under the guise of moving it back and forth, remember the bigger movement with this now, you're going to do one roll like that. So you're just doing this. Okay, and now it's showing normal again. You do your paddle move once more to show the side. And I think what helps when you're practicing this and learning this is that you're only going to use the paddle move when you want to show the same thing on either side. So if I want to show the same thing on the side now, they're all different colors, I do the paddle move. If I want to change, I shake and turn, 1/2 turn, remember, okay? Not inwards, always outwards, always the same movement, okay? Under the shake, it turns. And now I'm going to show them all red on the other side using the paddle move again. And take your time. You've got no rush. You can keep showing that for a while. One shake and it comes back. Practice with the shakes and how you want to do this. There are many, many variations, okay, of how you would turn this. That's essentially how you do the paddle move. There are lots of different variations of how to do the paddle move, but learn this first, get good at it, and you'll have lots of fun.